Mhm. Should be live.
All right. Hey, everybody. If you are tuning in, so nice to connect with you over the live stream. My name is Dr. Jake Invella. I'm the Executive Director of the International Game Developers Association, the IGDA, and I'm joined by my awesome friend and colleague and peer in the industry, Tim Collings.
Yeah, hi. Thanks, Jake. And I'm glad to have you here and glad to have everybody joining us this morning or today from wherever they are, what time it is where they are around the world. We are here to kick off the We Create the inaugural We Create Game Jam with our friends in Latin America and Asia, having a chance for women around the world to get to work on some Android games with our uh, partners at Google Play and our uh, great mentors that we have here joining us for the jam, who will be available to participants through the Global Game Jam Discord to help folks out as they're working on their games and answer questions. Uh, yeah, so I just wanted to give everybody a chance to say hello, talk about who they are and where they're from, and what they're hoping to achieve and what they hope to see come out of the gym.
Yeah, who'd like to start? Don't make me pick. I used to teach y'all. I will pick on somebody. You know what? No, I'm you know what? Since Miriam is smiling so brightly as I say I will pick on someone. Let's go with you, Miriam.
Okay, thank you so much, Jagan. So, nice to meet you, everyone. My name is Miriam Karina Melgoza, and I'm currently from Querétaro, Mexico, which is near Mexico City. It's like 3 hours away. So, my experience is also at school. Currently, I'm a university professor at Tec de Monterrey, which I'm teaching 3D animation, which is kind of odd because what I gonna be mentoring here, yay, Viva Mexico! What I be mentoring here, thanks Daniel. It's a little bit about art and any production questions that the jammers will be having in this Android Pixel Game Jam, which I'm very excited to see what the jammers will be doing. And I'm so happy to meet you guys all. And some of you look very tired, so I know that you're doing an amazing job over here, and I'm so happy to be part of. So this is my first time mentoring for IGDA, so I'm really excited about that. That's probably why I'm smiling so much. So thank you. So should I
Awesome.
pick the next one?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, why don't you do the honors of picking the next person to go as well?
Okay, that would be amazing. So I guess I'm gonna go with Joanna.
Sure, thank you so much. Really nice to be here. So my name is Joanna. I'm currently based from Poland and I freelance for marketing in games. This is my second time mentoring with IGDA, so super happy to be here with everyone. I mentored people at DevCom and Gamescom this year, and I want to focus on marketing because that's my specialty. I've been with indie games for the past 2.5 years and really maybe helping with marketing message and target groups for people thinking about the games during Game Jam. So yeah, really excited and calling from Poland. So yeah, it's an evening for me. So good start for the day probably for you guys.
So glad to have you with us, Joanna. Thank you for tuning in, even though it's in your evening time. If you want to pick the next person to go, that'd be awesome.
Uh, sure, maybe Daniel because of the Mexican flag. I saw a lot of activity sharing the Mexican colors. So yeah, really lovely to meet you here as well.
Hi. By the way, I met Joanna at Germany. It was really cool. The food was really amazing. So thanks so much.
Yes, we did. So good to
uh,
see you here.
I'm Daniel Sanchez. People call me Puni. Mentoring for IGDA for maybe second time because the first one was in Germany. Um, and basically, I'm leading the bootcamp in alliance with in an unofficial alliance with Unity. I'm a Unity certified instructor and Unity education ambassador. All my background is built in Unity, so if you're using Unity, I can help you with a lot of stuff, magical stuff that happens with Unity, but also with some game design and maybe how to manage your time in game jams. I've been participating in jams for around 14 years, so I might know some tricks about how to organize yourselves and how to make a jam like a really big experience, I think. And obviously accessibility, if you're implementing or if you want to implement accessibility in your games, please let me know. I really want to know more about indie games implementing accessibility as a default. So yeah, that's it.
Awesome. And for folks joining in, Daniel just spoke at the IGDA Pathfindings 2023 conference. It's still going on right now, so if you want to tune in, our next one is in about 22 hours from now. I won't say a time because I don't remember what the time is in UTC. But yeah, so Daniel, thank you for that. And I'm so glad you brought up the accessibility component. That's so important. The more people that we can build and make games for, the more people can enjoy, and we can spread that love and that vision and passion. Thank you. Can you pick the next person to
go? Sure. Alexis looks like a really cool guy.
Thanks a lot, Daniel. Yeah, so hi, I'm Alexis. So I've been in the game industry for about 14 years. And my journey took me through Europe, worked in Russia, worked in China. I've been in Asia for the past 4 years. I'm based in Singapore now. And I'm originally an artist and a game designer, worked at big companies like Ubisoft, NetEase, and Tencent. And I've been working with teams from all sizes. So working on game jams is really interesting for me because, seeing teams of thousands of people and working with teams of 3 people is very interesting because we're still making games, and you might make more money with a game of 3 people than a game of 1,000 people. So I think it's very interesting. There is space for everybody. There is a space for diversity. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what country you're hailing from. Everybody plays games, and especially the new generations. So I'm very interested to mentor for the first time for IGDA. I've been mentoring a lot of teams in Southeast Asia. I've been spending a lot of time in Thailand, in Indonesia, Malaysia, and now in Vietnam as well. So love to mentor teams. I love to work with people from different backgrounds, and very excited to be here. And it's 1 a.m. here as well. So
Thank you for staying up so late in your early morning or late night. I guess it depends. I'm a night out typically, so yeah, 1 a.m. That's a good sweet spot. But thank you so much for joining. I'm glad you brought up the diversity element too. It's so important, and it sounds like you get to travel a lot and meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you've seen how cultural influences or regional influences can flow into the game creation process. So
yeah,
thank
absolutely. Grateful for that. Alpay, want to be the next?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. My name is Alpay. I'm from Turkey. I'm game developer and also community manager Tolokadero. Organizing the game jams and like this work. I helped Latam and ASEAN person in Gem mentor. Sorry about my English. I'm trying. I trying to learn the English, but I can understand. I can hear. Speaking skill not very good for me. I using the on commonly write typing. But very important Asian and Latin side because lot of the people living in Asia and Latam game developer development in here because very helpful for uh, game sector. Very important doing this. Thank you.
Thank you, Alpine. And great point about, the importance of those global connections. That's why I love, what Global Game Jam does and IGDA. We really do our best to bridge across cultures, across regions. So thank you so much for being a part of this. And your English is perfect. So you have nothing to worry about there. Did you want to pick someone to go next? Do we have someone to go next? Finley, you might be the last one, actually.
Hi, I'm Finlay Cameron. I'm from Australia. I'm from Queensland. I work as a game coordinator at Screen Queensland, which is like one of Australia's game funding bodies. I'm also a lecturer, so a professor in America, I guess, of game design and production. My background is I'm a producer. I've worked with Zero Latency. I've worked with Toast VR, who made Richie's Plank Experience. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm so excited to be able to showcase the upcoming female talent. It's super exciting, and thank you so much for having me too.
Thank you, Finley. And yeah, so it is it's pretty late then for you, yes?
Yeah, it's 2 a.m, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I
Oh my God.
strategically napped when I got home from work. So I'm a night
Wow.
owl, so I'm looking forward to this.
I don't think I've heard anything more producery than I've strategically napped for this opportunity. Thank you so much for being here. And then I totally messed up. We still have one more person to go, right? I'm horrible at counting, apparently, because I was up till 3 a.m. for pathfindings and woke up in about a few hours ago. So only a few hours of sleep, so please forgive me. But Chris, please take it away.
Sure. Well, I'm glad to be here. So let's see. Currently, I am a CEO of a couple of companies, believe it or not, but another super stealthy game indie studio that I'm working on. So I'm excited to bring that to life shortly, very shortly. I can't wait. I've been an IGDA member for over 20 years. I started several chapters for the IGDA, and for a brief period of time between around 2009 and 2012, set up IGDA across Southern California. And so a lot of great chapters that we have now, Orange County and Los Angeles, I helped get going, and I love seeing them continue to thrive. And let's see. And I just spent the last 6 years actually working for Google. So I just left Google recently. And while I was there, I spent a lot of time working with various game companies, as well as Android services, and definitely in the innovation and strategy space. So thinking a lot about creative design and user experiences and how we could develop really interesting storytelling ideas and concepts through the games. So yeah, a little bit of everything for me, but very happy to be here.
We're very happy to have you, and thank you for your continued support of the game developer community across the globe, but especially in the California region as well. So thank you for being a member of IGDA. And, now that you said you've got pretty close experience with Google and Android, I'm gonna say that people are probably gonna be looking to you for some of those questions that only somebody who's in the ins and outs can answer. So we really appreciate you lending your expertise as a mentor to those who are participating in the Game Jam. And then we have another challenger enters. Yogi, please feel free to introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi guys, I'm from India, and I'm a cinematographer, and I have lots of interest in 3D technologies and Unreal Engine game designing, and I have completed several game projects in Unreal Engine, and yeah, I'm not very focusing on level designing and game designing, and yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Amazing. thank you so much for lending your expertise, especially in level design. I'm not a level designer. I'm just not a level designer. So I know that if I were participating in this jam and I heard those words, I will come to you with some questions.
Yes.
But yes, thank you. And Tim, do we have anyone else on the mentor side joining?
I don't see anyone else. I think that's it. So yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Well then, maybe I could ask one question, and we can maybe just take a few moments if anyone who wants to answer them. What is your biggest piece of advice for somebody who's participating in an Android game jam? It can be anything, whether they're a first timer, whether they've been, doing jams for 10 years or 15 years, like Daniel. Yeah, what would be kind of just your nugget of wisdom that you'd like to share? And we can start with anybody who wants to just raise their hand and go. You don't have to raise your hand. You can just go.
Yeah,
Maybe I
can go. Oh, sorry. Again,
No,
I think,
go, Alexis.
thanks. Yeah, just plan and test often. I think it goes for any production. The more planning you do early, the less surprises you have later. And if you test often, the less surprises you have later.
Perfect. I'm just pulling up my opening ceremony slides to make sure I put that one on the best practices list. Actually, I think it actually might be, but it has tests, but it doesn't have the plan one. I think that's a really good point. You have to really plan it out so you're not just scrambling, especially right before a submission, because we all know technology will be an enemy against us when we have to submit something at the time.
Worse than the machine.
And then Daniel, you wanted to add something as well?
Yeah. Also, I'll just say the same thing, but I can add that in a jam, maybe all the people want to rush and not sleeping and just complete the game in a few hours. Even if the jam is several days, you will be tired. So please rest, take water, take care of yourself. If you're planning, if you have like all the time available, please plan your rest for just a nap, for eat, for drinking water, and play. Playing, it's also really important in the industry. Basically, you'll need to keep your ideas fresh. So if you have time to play and use it as an excuse for resting, please do. It's like the most important advice that I can give you. Don't take it like take it seriously because there's prizes there, but don't like overwhelm yourself or waste your energy. Just take a rest, sleep. That's it.
Super. No, I love that. I love that. And so, speaking of naps, Finley, what are some tips to strategically plan out those rest periods?
Of course. I love napping. It's my favorite hobby. Invest in rest is really good. Yeah. But otherwise, I would say scope. Make sure you think about how long you have and how long you want to commit. And I don't know if everyone has this phrase, but we have an accurate acronym called KISS. Keep it simple, silly. And I think that my favorite game jams that I've played have always been the ones that are unexpected. So sometimes that tiny little idea that's just a one sentence log line is enough to really be able to power through something like a game jam.
That's awesome. I love that. And yeah, the keep it simple, silly. That's something that I think can stay with jammers for the rest of their lives, especially if this is their first jam. Anyone else have any, tidbits of golden nugget wisdom that they want to share with jammers who are participating in the We Create Android Game Jam starting today?
I'd like to add something. And
Yeah, Miriam.
okay, then
then
Joanna goes.
Perfect. Sounds
I
good.
think that I agree with what everyone is saying, and keep it simple, and it's gonna make it a lot more fun. But also, I like to add with Danielle said about drinking water, because you're gonna spend less time having headaches because jams can be daunting and can be quite a challenge. So keeping hydrated is really a good option. But also remember that communication is key. And it's even better when it's not violent communication when it comes to feedback
Mm.
and reporting to everyone else. And I guess that it's a place where I think that jams are places where you can play and explore. So try to keep it as a game indeed. And communication is key.
That's great. Super important when you're collaborating with folks who probably have lots of different ideas or feedback. Love the nonviolent approach, the very respectful, constructive criticism. Nothing like that's trash. No, none of that. We were going to uplift everyone we were working with. So thank you for sharing that. And then Joanna, you had something you wanted to add as well.
Yes, I actually wanted to piggyback on what Miriam said. I think that with feedback, I think it's super important to work into the strengths of people and bring your colleagues that bring different skills to the project so that everybody has their own sort of level to really showcase the best skills, like the level design or narrative or promoting the game after the jam as well. I think it's important to just be aware that everybody can really be a good team player and to focus on bringing the best out of each other. And yeah, I agree with everything else what everybody else said. Water is super important, and I think yeah, I definitely look forward to what the talent will bring to the table, and really excited for the games that will be there, because each gem for me was just exploring a different genre, a different mechanic altogether. So really looking forward to what people will prepare.
Thank you for that. Yes, the teamwork, the collaboration. And I also really I feel like a part of what you're saying is also anyone can participate. You don't have to have experience as a coder or a producer, or your art can be stick figures, and you can participate in a jam and find the place that you fit in with a team. So thank you for highlighting that.
And I think, as to add to that, I think also people should remember that a lot of gems are really attended by people who the first gem is that gem. So it's really good to figure out how to make games and how to meet people as well, and just network and meet other developers, and really maybe it's not this project at this particular gem, but maybe next 5 years will be the studio for you, or a really good project to join together from people you meet at the gem. So network as well, and yeah, keep fun, keep having fun as well, I think.
Perfect.
Yeah, definitely agree. Be brave. Don't be afraid to, make mistakes and ask questions, and you don't know what you don't know. Like, people are here to help you and answer questions, and this is a great learning opportunity for everyone to just try new things and step outside of your comfort zone a little, and just see what you can do with the time that you have here in this opportunity.
So inspirational. You're making me want to participate in the jam, but I don't think I have time for that. Not this week or next week. But how about any other last kind of tidbits that you'd like to share with other folks who are participating in the jam? That was a great list so far. So no
I have
worries.
little
Oh,
tips
sorry.
developers, jammer, for jammer. Firstly, started create the project in game engine. After trying to empty builds, because Android builds have a little problem if not ready your game engine. So you can problem in finish stage. So try to not started game jam, and if building, you can see the feature problem. So if you can empty Android build, you can do this. Okay, you can build the last stage, but you can build the first step. You need solve some problem, because Android very different normal Windows and Mac build. Yeah, very important because Jammer's last stage try to build. If not working, can build. Soon can upload it. So firstly can try and see the problem. Can type into V. Okay, we can solve this the problem. Very easy. We can help. So can try. Hani firstly can see the problem, have a problem or no problem. Very important for future.
Perfect. And oh, sorry, I
I
didn't
can
mean to interrupt.
explain
I'll play.
this, okay.
No, thank you. And I'm assuming that anyone who does run into any of those problems while they're working on, you know, their features in the Android platform, they can reach out to you, since I know you've got a lot of experience in that regard. So we're very excited to have you all here to help and to be a part of everyone else's journey. With that said, I think we can wrap the mentor meet and greet. Just a thank you again for really lending your time, your expertise. For those watching, if you're going to participate in the Game Jam, you have access to all these mentors simply by joining the jam, joining the Global Game Jam Discord, and finding the We Create Android Game Jam channel on that Discord. Mentors will be available. So if you have questions, just type them in, and then y'all can coordinate on your own if the questions need to be expanded upon in a thread on the Discord, or if y'all want to set up a time to meet for a quick chat. Sometimes it's a lot easier to do a screen share than doing a lot of writing back and forth. But you know, we'll leave that up to the mentors and to the participants. But mentors, thank you so much for your time. It's so great to meet and see all of you today. And we shall take a quick transition break to the opening ceremonies, the official opening ceremonies, where we'll talk a little bit more about the jam, the rules, and then we will announce the theme of the jam, which is usually like our favorite part, right? The theme. It's all about the theme. But yeah, thank you all so much, and we will get that slideshow up for the opening ceremonies here very soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hola.
Hey, Sandy. Hello. How are you?
Good to see you both, Jaking and team.
Likewise. Thank you for being here.
When you invite me to Evil Plans, I'm always there. Definitely.
Amazing, amazing. Well, hello everyone. Thank you for sticking around while we transitioned to the opening ceremony aspect of the show. So, excuse me. With that said, I have, looks like my slides actually showed up. So let me stop sharing the window, and happy to, did you want to just jump into the slideshow presentation, Tim?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. I have it set up too on my end. So do you want me to run it, or do you want to?
Oh, totally up to you. Totally up to you. But yeah, maybe we can, just for anyone just now joining us, we can do some introductions. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Jakin Vela. I'm the Executive Director of the International Game Developers Association, the IGDA. We support and empower game developers all around the world in achieving fulfilling and sustainable careers, and we do so in a number of ways. I like to tell people real quick that we provide a global network of industry professionals to connect with. We provide access to IGDA membership benefits that provide discounts on events and services and products. We provide mentorship. We have an entire mentorship program and platform that we use. We work on educational and advocacy-based resources like, panels and webinars, industry reports, best practices. And lastly, my favorite part is we are all about solidarity among the developer community. We have over 160 plus chapters and special interest groups, which are either chapters or regional representations of IGDA all around the world, bringing together developers over local game development ecosystems, sharing best practices and holding conferences and events and social meetups. And then our global communities, our special interest groups, range from affinity-based groups like Latinx in Games, Women in Games, to advocacy-based groups like climate and game accessibility and credits. And then, of course, we also have our discipline-focused groups like programming and production, marketing, art, etc. So that's a little bit about the IGDA and myself, and I'll pass the mic over.
Yeah, thanks, Jakin. I'm Tim Cullings. I'm the Executive Director of Global Game Jam. We're a nonprofit organization that runs the world's largest game creation event that happens every January. Helps to bring people from all over the world together to create community, to create video games, to create bonds that last a lifetime. I travel the world meeting developers everywhere who many of them have the same story, that they started their career in their game development journey at Global Game Jam. There was typically, like in a lot of places, there is no games industry to speak of, but somebody in their area decided to host an event with Global Game Jam and brought people together, and then they found the other developers in their community and got them started on their way to starting a game studio or finding a job at a company that their friends that they've met work for. So it's a great, we like to say it's where the game industry starts, and people are welcome to join us. We'll be hosting another one coming up in January, January 22nd through the 28th. People are registering their sites right now, and in about 2.5 weeks or so, people can start signing up to actually join the jam, and there'll be locations either virtually or in person all over the world for you to come out and participate. But we are here to talk about the We Create Game Jam, and I asked Sandy from Colombia to join us because she is also running a game jam about the same time with us, and we'll talk a little bit more about why she's here and what she's doing.
Okay, well, my name is Sandra Castro Pinzon. Well, people know me as Sandy or Cappy or Sandy Cappy. You can call me Author of My Love. That's you choose. Well, I'm the director of Tan Grande y Jugando. It's an organization that promotes the game dev industry in Colombia and America Latina. And we are always into evil plans because we do believe that promoting the game dev industry is something that not all the people is happy about it. You know that sometimes video games doesn't have the best representation, or they feel like it is not good to be gaming or playing. Well, we love gaming, we love doing games, and we love promoting making games. So that's the evil plan, to conquer all the world. So my participation here is also to help you in terms of Español, in translation. We create Game Jam to the Spanish version for you, but we are also promoting the inclusion of women in games. So we're always into these kind of initiatives that open up doors for all of us. We are creating a game jam in the same moment with this one. We are going to use the same theme, thanks to the Global Game Jam support. And we have that game jam being supported by the Ministry of Culture of our country. That's a really big issue for us, because that has never happened before for us. Like, this is a really good example of, I never believe in, like when the stars line up and you're like, I never believe in that, but this is that kind of a moment. So, we are always into evil plans to promote the game dev industry. And this is a lovely moment for us to be sharing with the EGDA and, of course, the Global Game Jam and all of our associates to promote the game dev industry.
Thank you. Yeah. How can people find out about the jam that you were hosting?
Well, it's Tu Propia Historia, your own story. And, well, as I told you, it's going to be the same topic, the same theme as this game jam, the same diversifiers too. So that's pretty awesome for us, because we have the Global Game Jam supporting us in Colombia doing this jam. This is an amazing opportunity with us. I am really scared because we have 500 subscribers to our event. I have never had an event so big, so I hope everything goes well. We have a lot of mentors there, so if you're also part of the Latin American community and you need mentors in Spanish, please ping us. We're going to help you on everything that you're going to do with this game jam. So we're going to support you too.
Thank you. We appreciate it. We should also mention our other partner, the IGDA Foundation. Maybe Jakin wants to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, no, you read my mind. I was going to say, before we wrap up into the next segment, Alyssa Wallace, the executive director of the IGDA Foundation, kind of the sister organization to IGDA, could not attend today's live stream event, but she is the executive director of IGDA Foundation. IGDA Foundation serves to diversify the industry. They provide a lot of opportunities for diverse game developers all around the world in reaching these sometimes hard to reach spaces. They do a scholars program where they get mentorship, they learn about certain topics, and then they do a GDC trip where they bring selected folks to GDC for a life-changing experience. As we all know, when we get to go to our first major conference, sometimes it opens a lot of doors that aren't always possible. So the IGDA Foundation is awesome. Unfortunately, Alyssa couldn't be here, so I will be happy to answer any questions anyone has directed towards the IGDA Foundation, or happy to connect you with Alyssa Wallace. And then the other thing I was going to say is, for Sandy, for your game jam, did you have a link to that as well that we can put in chat?
Of course. Let me put it over here, and meanwhile, let's start the conversation. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, and thank you so much for your collaborative spirit and for your evilness, for your evil world dominating plans of making games more accessible and fun. Yes.
Yeah, it is that's why it is here the evil author nickname.
Well, and you live up to it. You live up to the reputation. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and start our presentation for the We Create Women Empowerment Game Jam for Asia and Latin America. Well, we did our introductions, but the next few minutes, we'll just talk about the game jam itself, just kind of a few rules, housekeeping items, so to speak. The perks for participating, of course, because there are always perks to participating in a game jam. I think Tim can give you like an entire hour lecture. Actually, you probably have already done that in the past at like GDC of like the benefits of joining a game jam. Then we'll talk about the resources that we're providing for game jam participants. And then we'll go through an overview of some best practices. Some I actually just wrote down from our mentors who were just on the call a few minutes ago. And then we will get to the theme reveal. So very exciting stuff. Yeah, we went over a little bit about our global communities, but for those visual folks there, here's some more information. Tim, you're welcome. If you want to go over some more stuff about Global Game Jam, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think I about covered it earlier, but we have like I said, we host the world's largest game creation event. It happens around the world in January. This year in 2023, we had 40,000 participants all over the world in 108 countries. They made 7,600 games in a weekend. Global Game Jam is typically a 48-hour event that happens on a weekend at the end of January. People get together, we announce a theme, and then they try to make a game. It's not a competition. It's purely for collaboration and community building and learning and finding yourself and finding what you like to do in the games industry. So go to globalgamejam.org and find out more there. If you haven't wanted to say anything more about IGDA, feel free.
Yeah, here we have listed that we have quite a large representation across LATAM and across Asia. And we also have a lot of special interest groups that I mentioned earlier, where they are based either around like an affinity or shared identity. We've got women in games, Latinx in games, Chinese in games, Muslims in games, LGBTQIA plus games. And we have one of our newer special interest groups, our neurodiverse in games special interest group, which I know is already getting a lot of attention, especially as more topics of mental, just really neurodivergence is becoming just more easily talked about, which is great. So very excited for that special interest group. And then in addition to that, the IGDA also hosts a lot of events throughout the year. Oftentimes you'll see us at GDC or Gamescom, DevCom. But this month has been particularly busy. We've actually been hosting our Pathfindings Conference, which is a Global South developer conference aimed at showcasing and highlighting the amazing, the fantastic, the inspirational talent all across the Global South. We just wrapped up 3 days of Pathfindings, 2 days featuring speakers from across Latin America, and then 1 day featuring speakers across South Asia and Southeast Asia. And then in about 17 hours or so, we will start our final day of Pathfindings, featuring speakers across Africa and Middle East. So we're really excited about Pathfindings. And then next week, we actually have 2 indie game showcases. We've got our Queer Indie Showcase and our Women Indie Showcase on Saturday, November 25th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific time for the Women Indie Showcase, and then 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. for the Queer Indie Showcase, same day. So it's going to be an indie-filled day of really cool games, awesome influencers, and some just very inspirational game developers. Then we've got some more events coming up, but I won't take up too much more time. So then the IGDA Foundation alumni, the IGDA Foundation has a reach of alumni who've gone through a lot of the programs with IGDA Foundation, and several of them will also be serving as mentors as well. So we are combining our communities, combining our forces, and really making this Game Jam a particularly special and globally collaborative event across all of our organizations. And that makes me very happy. So yeah, I think I'm good on that one.
Yeah, and you reminded me that Global Game Jam will be launching our GDC scholarship applications in the next week or so. So keep an eye out on our website for that, and you can get a all-access pass and perhaps even some a stipend to help you with your travels and whatnot. And also, we just opened our diversifier suggestions for Global Game Jam 2024. So if you have ideas for diversifiers and you want to add those to the list, go into our website and fill out the form and give us your most creative ideas for diversifiers for GTJ 2024. But with that being said, let's move on to the presentation here.
Great. So the Game Jam officially kicks off today. So the We Create Android Game Jam is now officially live. We will be announcing the theme of the jam at the very end of this presentation. So we'll get through all kind of the housekeeping items, and then we'll get to the theme. I know that's what everyone's here for. But we just want to remind people that the jam is beginning today through the 27th. So submissions are due by 11:59 Pacific Standard Time on November 27th. So please be sure that you don't wait until 11:58 p.m. PST to submit those, because we all know sometimes either internet goes down, submissions go slow. With that said, have fun, take your time. You've got plenty of time. There's no need to rush, and we'll go over some best practices about that. Once the Game Jam finalizes, we will have the games reviewed by a panel of esteemed industry professionals, and they will be scoring the games to indicate which ones will win. But before you even get to that point, you have resources. We're going to have mentors, we have Q&As, etc. So don't fret too much. Tim, do you want to talk a little bit more about the rules?
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's a whole list of rules. If you go on the itch.io page that I linked in chat, you can find that, like the more detailed version. But the high level teams have to be at least 50% women or femme identifying non-binary to be eligible for prizes. Also must be at least 51% from either of the two regions that we're targeting with this gem, which would be Latin America or Asia. You don't use copyrighted works in your game unless you own the right to use them and you credit them properly. And then the games will be judged by industry professionals on the elements that you can see on the screen, which are gameplay for 25 points, best use of theme, best artwork, graphics, visuals, you could say, for 25 points, audio, and then we will have judges' discretionary points to add to games that they think deserve some extra credit. So that's the high-level rules. Like I said, you can go to either the link that you can see in the bottom right corner here or the ones that I put in chat, so you can go and find out more detailed rules there. And you can find those on Discord as well.
Awesome. So that's a lot of rules. So what's the payout, huh? Oh, here we go. Perks for participating. Well, I think not only will you make some new friends, solidify some friendships that you already have, but you have an opportunity to really make something creative, make something unique, and be handsomely rewarded for that if you are, in one of these prize pool winning awards. So for our prize pools, each region will have a prize pool of $10,000. So that means there's $10,000 prize pool for those in LATAM and $10,000 for the submissions with teams in Asia. The first place comes in at 5,000 USD. Second place, 3,000 USD. Third place, 1,000 USD. And we will have a fan favorite award for a prize of 1,000 USD. Sorry, it says recommended. I forgot to change that. But yeah, those aren't recommended values. Those are actual values, promise. So yeah, there definitely, I would say there's some perks to participating. Anything you wanted to add, Tim?
I mean, besides the monetary perks, we also have our mentors who were on earlier on the stream that are available. They're happy to participate and talk to you about how you can make your game better, give you advice on really anything you want to ask them. They're here at your disposal to give you advice on your games as you work on them. So definitely take advantage of that. Also, if you are participating in the jam in Colombia, you are welcome to also submit your game to our jam and be eligible for the prizes that are mentioned here. So don't forget about that.
go.
Let's go. That's exciting. Yeah, I mean, why not participate in both? That's like the beauty
Yeah.
of the collaboration right here.
That's the
Yeah.
objective, definitely. And as we have those mentors in Espanol, like you don't need, if English is not your first language, sometimes it's like scary asking to someone that information. So don't worry about it. You have mentors in Espanol too, so you'll be able to have a great jam.
You rock, Sandy. The next slide here, we've got our program resources. So yeah, we have prizes, we have perks, but we also have support that we are providing because we want you to not only submit games, we want you to have fun and learn and be successful in the submission of your games. And because of that, we are providing you, like Tim mentioned, with some resources like mentorship. We had just a little bit ago, quite a few mentors join us to introduce themselves, talk about their expertise. And all of these brilliant minds are going to be available to you on the Global Game Jam Discord channel. If you go there, you can find the We Create Android Game Jam section, and you can talk to mentors there, ask your questions, put screenshots, coordinate times to meet on the Discord chat, whatever works best for you. But just know that you are not alone in this. You don't have to figure everything out on your own. You have us, you have resources, you have the community to lean on. And then you also have, like I mentioned, the Game Jam staff. So all of the participating organizations. If you are curious about, engaging more with our organizations after you're done with the Game Jam, you can also talk to us about that because we'd love to have you be more active in our communities if you're not already.
Yeah, and we had a question come in from chat. If we do not speak English, can the exhibition be in Spanish, or did I understand wrong? And the answer to that should be yes, as far as I'm concerned. Like, it submits in whatever language is your native language, your first language. I mean, yeah.
Submit it. Don't worry. You can also ask help for the Tan Grande Jugando community in the Game Jam in the link that I think that we already shared to Prope Historia. So you'll be like, if you need help in anything, even though it is translation, you can ping us. Okay.
Wonderful. And that goes without saying that, you have your community to rely on. Google, our partner in this, making this event possible with the prize pools. Just in case we didn't give them a big shout out, I wanted to mention that now. Google Play also has a lot of resources available to you for free. And so we'll post those links there in our Discord chat, and we'll always point you to whatever will be helpful. And then, of course, like I mentioned before, IGDA community and resources. You've got global game jammers who have done this, hundreds of times by now. We're here to help. Tim, I'm going to look to you. You're the Game Jam pro here. Do you want to talk about some of the best practices?
Sure. I mean, we had a lot of great advice from our mentors earlier. The main one is just keep your ideas simple. You only have 11 or 12 days to make this, so keep it as your scope narrow and your focus, sharp, so you're not going to just try to overdo it and fall short of your goals. Like, make your goals attainable, make sure it's fun first, and then iterate from there and add what you can, but don't be afraid to cut. That's like my advice is always the ABCs of Game Jam is always be cutting. Like, just if something's not working, just move on. If you're like, don't spend too much time on it, don't worry about it. Maybe save the idea for later or for another Game Jam, but like, if it's not going to make it in this one, just don't be afraid to move on and just stick with what is working. Stick to familiar tools. I mean, a lot of people do take the time to learn new tools in Game Jams, but if you already have a familiar set of tools, that's always a good way to go. Time management's important. Having a good project manager on your team is important, especially if it's a larger team and you have people doing all different tasks and working in different disciplines, and having somebody to keep you all on track, since you have a limited amount of time, and making sure everybody's delivering what they're supposed to and on time, and nobody's blocking each other. And if somebody is blocked, go talk to them and find out what you can do to help. Play test early and often. You'll find out if something's not working or if it's not fun, and you can fix and iterate and move on and come up with new ideas, like I mentioned, which goes along with testing. It's always important to test. I know that's like always a kind of a last thought for a lot of people, but testing is super important to make sure that your idea is actually working and it is fun and it's not broken. Smooth collaboration. We're here to work together as a team, and don't try to give everybody a chance to have a voice on the team. Listen to people, be open to ideas, be open to feedback, be open to giving actionable feedback. I'll say if you have an idea on how to make something better or add a feature that the team has time to add in, then voice those opinions and don't be afraid to give your ideas and voice those, because that's what everybody's here for. And then once it gets closer to the end, spend the last day or two polishing, fixing bugs, and adding whatever nice touches you can add to make the game what your hopes and dreams are. I don't know if anybody else, anything else they want to add to that, but feel free.
Well, I would add that don't be afraid of, well, I say it in Espanol, and more, it's a horrible translation, sorry, GTA. Don't worry to fuck it up. Don't worry to make a mess. Don't worry on that experience, because that experience is not only to be, like competing for this awesome game. It's also your opportunity to learn more, to have new experience, and to make awesome ideas that you weren't even thinking that you were capable of. So don't be afraid to cagarla. That's the Spanish word for that. I would say also that please take rest. This is a 10-day jam. It is not for you to be a 10-day, 24 hours doing a game. If we don't want crunch, don't do that on your events. Don't do it on your jam. You won't be happy to have your boss telling you, you have to crunch. Don't do it in these kind of events, because that's something that would normalize that kind of behavior. And we need a healthy environment. We need you to be also always fresh and never burning out. So that's very important for us. Take your rest, take some water, agüita, feed very well, because it is a really big marathon. 10 days, it's a lot of days, and you need to feed very well and to feel very well too. If it's also needed, rest, please. I know that I'm going to be jamming and also like jamming at the same time that I am doing another game jam and making my own game and working. So of course I need to put rest in my agenda.
Yes, great advice. Thank you for that. Always check in on yourself and make sure you're doing all right, and check in on your teammates and make sure they're doing okay too, and make sure you're, everybody's doing well, and get up and do a little exercise, move around, and yeah, get plenty of rest and hydration and food for sure. So yeah, I think the next we have what everybody's been waiting for.
All right, our theme for the We Create Android Game Jam, and I think it's pretty fitting, is drum roll, bridges and bonds. Take that as you will. I won't say another word. No, but if you, I don't know if you typically give any insight into the theme or why you chose it, or you just kind of leave it open. I like to leave things open because I think things can mean so many things for so many different people, especially in our regionally diverse communities. So bridges and bonds, what, to the viewers, to the participants, what comes to your mind first? What are some unique ideas that you can think of or play upon? How can you implement those ideas into design elements that are fun, engaging, unique, and that are suitable for Android devices.
Oof, I love it. I love it because, you know, like your own story has a lot of bridges and bonds, not only in terms of the name of the jam that I told you, but also you're as the one that's watching. You have a lot of stories that you can tell. You have a lot of mechanics that you can share over here.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see the submissions that we get, the creative takes on this theme, how people bring not only their personal experiences, cultural influences into whatever design they create. Maybe some folks will take a very strong narrative direction. Maybe some will take a strong platformer. I mean, you can easily make like a platformer, like comes to my mind when I think of anything with bridges and. But yeah, the possibilities are endless, like Pika Mesho mentioned in chat. So very excited. Any last words for those on screen, and then any questions from the audience and participants in the game jam?
So ideas can be literally, like a bridge and a bond, and you can also put it figurative, like in terms of how are you going to make it as a human bond, right? Like how can you make that if it is not blood, then what bond does? What is the bridge between you and me? Or is it like it is a broken bridge because you are like in Japan and I am in Colombia? So that's a really great idea of how you are going to evolve this idea and to take advantage of it.
Yeah, some of my favorite places to visit are bridges, like literal bridges, like the Golden Gate Bridge and some of the bridges we have here around the Pacific Northwest where I live. My mind goes to like puzzle games with bridges and bonds, but there's so many different ways that we can go with this, and of course the whole idea behind this jam is to build those bridges and bonds between women creators around the world and our different regions and our different organizations that are all working together to make this a great experience for everyone, give you this opportunity to create games based on this theme and work together and have a chance to win some prizes. So yeah, we're excited to see what happens, as Jakin and Sandy both mentioned.
Very excited. And looks like we have a question by Fading Event 608. You said that we can submit in our native language. Is it only for Spanish or for other languages too? Well, so the jam is for two large regions, Latin America and Asia. So whatever your native language is, maybe just give us a heads up when you submit it. And maybe on our side, we can connect with members of our community to see if we might need any support on our end for translation, for when judges review it. Just let us know. Communication's key, as we've talked about before. But yeah, no, you should be totally fine. Tim, Sandy, did you have any other? Oh, and I guess I should mention that specifically for the We Create Android Game Jam. I don't want to speak on behalf of Sandy's Game Jam. Oh, you're on mute, Sandy.
My scary face. So, well, in the case of this game jam, is especially to be in Spanish because it's something that we are creating with the Ministry of Culture. Well, you can use all the languages, indigenous languages that we have in our country, of course. But if you're going to submit your game to our jam and it is in English or it is in maybe in other language, also let us know. So we'll be able to understand what it is. But of course, the game jam, Tu Propia Historia, Your Own Story, doesn't have prizes. All the good prizes are here. And we're trying to have our community to jump over here and to be part of this awesome idea that, well, the EGDA, Google Play, and the Global Game Jam create. Haha. We're like the evil out there working special activities to bond the Ministry of Culture with all of the initiatives that we have international. Because for our country, it's really important that the organizations know what is happening in the industry and to promote it inside the country, of course.
Wonderful. Any other questions from participants or the audience? And of course, if you have questions later, as a reminder, we have many resources. We've got mentors, we've got the Game Jam staff. Just go to the Discord that Tim linked, discord.gg/GGJ, and find the We Create Android Game Jam section there, and feel free to start chatting away. But it doesn't look like there are any additional comments. So with that said, I think we're good to kick off the start of the We Create Android Game Jam with Bridges and Bonds. Thank you all so much for being here and for joining us. We're so excited to see your submissions. Any last words, anyone?
No, just great. Good luck, everybody. That's what I meant to say. And thank you to all of our partners who are a part of this, Ton Grande, Ugando, IGDA Foundation, and of course, Google Play. We're really excited to see what you're going to make and play all your games. Join the Discord and we'll be there to help you along the way.
Awesome. Have a great time zone, everyone. Take care.
Bye.